Hey everyone, this is Quakeman, and well, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this bandwagon. So, as much as I don't like jumping on things like this, because I know for a fact that it will bring up my views, it will bring up a lot of people because I post this the day after, the day out, but whatever. So, today, well, actually no, today is actually the 21st, but yesterday, which is the 20th, was the Sony little thing where they announced all their crap, and I'm not trying to say that as a bad thing. And they announced obviously the PS4, and I watched about an hour of it and immediately got turned off. For my own opinions, probably because I'm still in the idea of old school gamer phase, not shifting to the future of this, which is fine with me. But there's a lot here. There's a lot here. This is probably going to be a 30-minute long recording. I have a lot of articles by Joystiq with everything about what is going on with the PS4. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to read all of them. I'm probably only going to read specific sections of it. But I wanted to voice pretty much my opinions about this console. Now, yes, I'll admit, yes, I've mostly had Xbox as my life as well as Nintendo stuff. But mostly I've been having an Xbox 360. I will admit, I didn't grow up with the PS1. I didn't grow up with the PS2. And hell, I did not even get a PS3. And I still don't have a PS3, which disappoints me the most. But I still want to get the consoles for my own particular reasons. My rule is I play games for the sake of playing games. That's always how it's been, and that's always been the rule. I don't fanboys over whatever, but I do have my opinions between the PS3 console that I did have a hands-on with when I used to be in California, and and the years I've had an Xbox original and an Xbox 360. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to do this as a fanboy thing. The Sony PS3 does a good job at what it does. It has a lot of great games, and it has very interesting features that the Xbox does not have. But there's things about the PS3 that I think kind of bugs me in all retrospect, okay? But this is not about the PS3. This is actually about the PS4. So one of the big things that personally I want to say right off the bat is they made a press release immediately after the event was over because they didn't say anything that they promised, but it came out that they did say that the PS4 will not use the patent feature as everyone was worried about. Is that going to be absolutely true? I don't fucking know. All I know is it's nice to know that they said that it will be able to play used games when you buy the discs and all that other stuff. Is it going to use the online pass system that all games have been using since Battlefield Bad Company 2 was first done in 2010 by EA? We don't know yet. But at least we know that you can buy used games without a problem, but I'm still scared about that stupid feature because, I'm sorry, locking content that's on the disc specifically is a bullshit idea. Now, again, I'll give one credit to what PS3 does sometimes. Certain games, mostly notable as Killzone, allows you to purchase the online multiplayer only. That's an interesting feature. I wish a lot of games kind of did that nowadays, where you could just buy the multiplayer only if you don't give a shit about the single player. That would have been an interesting feature with most games. I mean, heck, I would be pretty cool. Black Ops 2 had that with all three features, but besides the point, that's completely off topic there. So that's very nice to know that they said that it will still be allowed to play used games. We'll just see what's going to happen later if they're going to do a 180 and say, lol, fuck you, type of moment. We'll see. The second thing I want to talk about, personally, this bugs the hell out of me personally because I don't fucking care about this shit, and I hope I have a feature to turn these off. They're very nice for people who want them, mind you. I'm not trying to say that they should just not add them at all, but God, I don't get why they have to make it such a big point. I'm sorry if I'm talking about something before I even explain what it is, but this is something that I've noticed a lot of games and consoles do, okay? Steam did this most of all, but I have ignored it. Xbox did it with most of their updates, and PS3 kind of did it with their PS Home and stuff like that. And now PS4 is completely turning it into Facebook game. And the reason I'm saying that is they're trying to put social into gaming. Fuck! No! Stop! And I understand that most people are not going to understand or probably going to go on my case about the valid points I might make, because I will admit maybe my points may not be valid. I don't care. Okay? when I play games, I enjoy playing games. I don't give a flying fuck about talking to other people or sharing my information. Hell, my Facebook page, which I'm not telling anyone anywhere because I don't have one of those, specialty pages. I only have my real name, which I'm not giving that out, period. I don't really post much on there. I may post a few things about gaming or a few things here and there for some of my friends out there who want to see it, but I really just don't use it. Hell, I have a Twitter account. I don't even use that, okay? When I do things kind of, in a sense, old-fashioned. And even though I'm only 21, it's not really considered old-fashioned because I was born in 1992. But regardless of that point, I just don't like what they're trying to do, okay? When I play games, I just care about playing games, okay? I don't give a shit about, ooh, this person started playing this game, which is what Xbox recently did, where you can do these beacons where every time you start playing a game, it will say, this friend wants you to play this game, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And then anytime you're playing the particular game, it will say, this guy is now playing this game, which pretty much is saying that they're playing the same game as you. I don't want that. I don't care about that. If people are going to be playing a game with me, they can invite me to a party, or heck, I already know if they're already playing a particular game. I don't really care about that too much, okay? When I play games, I'm strict to the friends I am playing with, okay? I don't talk in open public chats. I don't, message people all the time. I keep hidden to my own stuff, okay? This is why I don't like social. Because when you make it social, they're trying to make it very public. And they may add a few features to make it kind of privately, but still, it's still going to be open. Now, they said that they're going to make it where your online name, like when you play games and everything, will still have, your name. So, if, my name could be like Quakeman224, will still be showing up when I play games like Killzone 4 or whatever gets released on the PS4. However, the social site will, to my knowledge, will say that you have to use your real name and your real picture. Fuck no! Okay? Some of us have something called paranoia, and some of us don't like doing that shit. And if you ban us because we don't want to use a real name, then don't include social gaming. Done! Now, one of the features they added to it, which is, I guess, pretty cool. I can't really say it's that great, but they add I guess they added a feature where, like, your games are automatically recorded regardless because it's within the system, not the game. Unlike, where Black Ops 2 and Halo 4 did it, where like it records your games and you can edit and everything. It looks like it records automatically through the system. That's pretty interesting, although I really don't think I would use that feature because I rather use PVRs to record my stuff because it's easier to manage my videos and what I record. But it's an interesting feature, I won't lie. But the fact that they got, from what I've heard, they got rid of the start and select button and they replaced it with share and another button, which I forget what it was. Okay, whatever, destroy the core mechanic of a game controller. Again, this is why I don't like social gaming, okay? The controller should be your, the way to play a game. Not, oh look, I got a share button, click, 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 click. Sorry to make that weird, but you can do that with screenshots as well whenever you want. There's also an option where you can live stream directly from your console, and I don't know how that's going to work, but it uses the service Ustream to do it, and basically what it does is it will have your screen. I don't know if this is how obviously everything from the PS4 announcement, all of this is just like complete speculations. It probably will change later. But it's like your screen will be a little bit smaller. You'll have a picture of you, I guess, using the iToy, and then it will show you the chat screen for anyone who wants to send you a message either through the PlayStation 4 network or actually using the Ustream system. I guess that's cool, but again, I like to have control over what I do, so I'd rather use a PVR with what I do. But for some people who don't have the money for it or don't have the availability to do so, like some people, it's nice. Those are probably the one features I think is okay, is the video sharing type stuff, the automatic recording and the Ustream system. But the whole social aspect shit, I don't care about that, and I hope I can turn it off, okay? I really do. Now, from what I've seen is your account from the PS3 will still get transferred over to the PS4. They still will have the trophy systems of Platinum, Gold, Bronze, and Silver. Will transfer your trophies from PS3 to PS4? That I don't know. But they're still keeping the trophy system. They're still keeping the level system, which I think is pretty cool. But other than that, I don't care about social in gaming. It's why I don't like the PS Home. Okay, the whatever it was. Okay. The user interface for the PS4 apparently got a facelift insanely, and to me, I'm not saying this they copied it, mind you. I don't really give a shit about using the word copying. But to me, it kind of looks like they're taking a little bit from the Xbox user face. It really does. That's just my opinion, and I'm not saying it is. But again, they may change it afterwards because it doesn't come out until the holiday season. But it's kind of curious of what they're going to do with it, I guess. The user interface is nice. I gotta say, it's a little bit more cleaner than what it is originally. I personally do not like the user interface for the PS3, so I kind of gotta say this is a little upgrade to that. So, yeah. Another feature they announced is that when you start downloading a game, it will download, I guess, the core mechanics, like the main menu and the first, like, couple levels or whatever, but the rest of the game, the rest of it will still continue downloaded as you play. Now, that's a feature that World of Warcraft and a lot of other games tend to do, where it downloads the core mechanics and then it downloads the rest of the world as you play. That's an interesting feature, and I gotta say, that is something I wish a lot of games could have done. Because instead of having to wait a freaking 2 gig download for an Xbox Live Arcade game, or better yet, Battlefield 3's Aftermath or coming up Endgame DLC, have to wait for that. It seems interesting. Well, actually, those are multiplayer stuff, so it makes sense. But it's nice that you can download, if you buy something, it will start to download part of the game, and then you could start playing right then and there. That's an interesting feature. That I got to give credit to. That's really, really, really good. That's very nice for a lot of people who are able to play the game without having to just sit and wait. They also talked about how they're fixing the whole crap on the PS3, in my opinion, of where you can't background download everything, which I think was bullshit, and that when you put a disc in the console, it installs it, then it updates patches. Okay, now, that was the thing I always hated about the PS3. Okay, I should be like, I don't understand the whole installing stuff, and I guess I just don't get it. Most people are trying to say, well, it's like a computer where you have to install the game and everything. But I'm like, yeah, but this, when you buy a console disc, you don't really need to install it. Now, I understand Xbox added the feature where you could install games, but you still needed a disc to play them. But that was an option, and the main reason to do that is it doesn't put a lot of stress on the CD, and it doesn't destroy the laser system within it. I don't really use the feature anyways, but I just didn't like the fact that when I put a disc in, I'm like, yeah, like for example, Crysis 3 came out. It's like, yeah, I want to play Crysis 3. Hell yeah! Put it in. Okay, let's get started. It has to install. Put the controller down and wait. 10 minutes later, patch. Put down and wait. Downloads the patch, installs the patch. Okay, now I can play. And afterwards, it's like, it's already been like 30 minutes. And it's kind of like, I want to play fucking now. And I'm sorry to sound like I'm a little impatient type of person, but seriously, it's why have that? I just never got that. I thought it was much more interesting that when you download a patch and it's done. In this, it like downloads and then it has to install it, and PC games didn't really have to install anything anyways. Regardless of that fact, it's an interesting feature, and I wonder how far it's going to go. They also announced that the thing that Sony bought, which is Genkai, I think you pronounce it, they announced that what they're going to use the system for is for like streaming stuff, and I'm not going to go on a huge rant with this one because I've already talked about it before. I just didn't ever post it. I don't like the idea of streaming games, period. And everyone's going to say, well, what about Netflix isn't streaming movies? Streaming movies and games are two separate subjects, thank you very much. But regardless of the fact, Genkai says that they're going to add a service where you can cloud save, obviously, and cloud store and all this other stuff, as well as streaming games, and also being able to purchase and download and all this other stuff with PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. And that's another factor. The PS4 will not be backwards compatible with PS3 games because the specs for the PS4 is pretty much with the computer. Which everyone's saying, oh, yep, it's why call them consoles if they're computers? I don't really care. So that's the reason. That's the only real downside for most people is it's not backwards compatible. So personally, for me, I'm still going to get a PS3 and still going to buy all the games I missed out on. I won't be able to buy any doubles, though, because if I did get a PS3, I would get doubles, but I'm not going to get doubles. Probably the only double game I'm going to get is Resident Evil 5, just because I really like that game. But, yeah, so it's not going to be backwards compatible, so very disappointing for a lot of people who are expecting that. I've really noticed that a lot of people are not... that backwards compatibility is starting to be becoming a lost chain, and most people are saying that it's just pointless to do. For me, I like the feature depending on how it works out. Like, for me, I still have a DS, and I'm going to be getting a 3DS. The 3DS plays backwards with DS and 3DS games, you know. The Wii plays the Wii U plays Wii and Wii U games, okay? It's a nice feature to have, but I wouldn't say it always has to be mandatory. It just makes it easier access for people to flip. And then blah blah blah. But I guess they're trying to make people buy it for the games and for the entire service, not because they can just backwards compatibility. It's an interesting standpoint, and I can understand why they're doing it as a business strategy. So kind of sucks because I'm going to still have to buy a PS3, but it's almost the same fact that I still have to buy a PS2 to play PS1 games. But regardless of that fact, so yeah, they're pretty much it's not going to be backwards compatible. The service for PS3 is still going to be the same, blah, 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 whatever. I think I went on a tangent there. I don't know. Moving on. The other thing that they announced that I don't know. I don't like this at all. And it has nothing, again, this has nothing to do that they are copying any company. I mean, like, with the PSP Vita crossplay, that's pretty much taking Wii U. The Smart Glass on Xbox is like the Wii U. I don't care. I don't like the fact that companies are kind of doing that, but I'm not a person who just screams at it and tells them that they should die in a fire because they did something like that. They have every right to do so, really. It's just how companies work. They can take something and improve it a lot better. That's why we have droids and phones and stuff. Again, tangents. But the new controller, the new controller for the PS4, I really don't give a flying fuck about. It's just gimmicks now. Again, I only like the Kinect for Dance Central. I don't like it for anything else. And as much as Rise of the Nightmares was a great experiment, and I really love Twisted Pixel's Gunstringer, I don't fucking care about motion control that much. I like to sit down with my damn controller. Okay? Now this one still has a controller, but they're adding the 6-axis motion control to it again, and then stretch the controller just a little bit and add one of those touchscreens that the Vita has on the back. That's the controller. And they got rid of start and select and added it with like share and some other button, I think. No! Please, no! Please, for the love of God, release a standard goddamn controller for this. I don't care about that. At least the Wii U gives you the option. You can use their Wii U controller, the Wii tablet controller, or the nunchuck and the Wiimote, depending on the game, of course. But at least you have more options there. You're not forced to use the giant tablet controller, okay? This one makes me feel like you're going to be forced to using that touchpad for certain games and the motion control with certain stuff, okay? A game that was beautifully designed, great in aesthetics, gameplay was amazing, everything about it was great, but what killed it was the 6-axis control on the PS3, and that was Lair. Lair to me is the most beautiful game that ever was on the launch title. However, the freaking 6-axis force controllers fucked the game up. Now, last time I checked, they made a patch where you can use the sticks now, but that game just fucked itself because it was using a gimmick instead of giving you the option to use either one, okay? Now, I'm very happy that a lot of games like Killzone 3, Resistance 3, I think Resident Evil 5 did this, and 6, and a bunch of other games allow you to use the Move system, which I gotta give credit, the Move is a much better upgrade from the Wii because of what it uses, the iToy and the camera. But it gives you the option, it doesn't force you on it. That is what I want to see with companies. I want companies to stop forcing us into shit we don't want to do. And I understand that, like, you know, that we have to change and move on with stuff, but don't force us. That is just going to cause us not to even get the damn thing. That was kind of the main reasons I don't get a lot of stuff is because they try to force us a certain stupid fucking gimmick. Okay, that's just how it is for me. Okay, I'll give one example. Okay, I love the Metro Prime series. I finished 1 and 2 on the GameCube without a problem, even on hardest difficulty. I've even finished it without the HUD on. Okay. Corruption, a game I really want to finish, is on the Wii using the motion controls. I have not finished that damn game because I can't play with those controls. I just can't. And that is what I'm talking about. And I'm a little pissed off that they didn't allow an option to use a normal controller, like a GameCube plugin or something like that. Instead, we're forced with that. And that's the reason I don't play it, is because we're forced to change with it. Again, I understand the Wii does motion control and everything, but don't force us into things. And that's what I'm so scared about. Now, the PSP Vita, I've heard that there's certain stuff that it doesn't allow you. You don't have to use the touchscreen. Like when you're playing the Uncharted game, I think it's called Golden Abyss. You don't have to use the touchscreen to do melee stuff. Like when you're on a wall, if you touch like the guy, you actually grab them and throw them off. But I've heard that you don't really have to use that, and that makes me happy. But I just don't like the fact that certain games force you to use the touchscreen to use the menu. I'm the same way with DS games, mind you. I don't like the fact that certain games doesn't allow you to use the controllers to actually navigate the menus. Wipeout 2048, I think it's called, or something like that. That one, I love Wipeout games, but the one that's on the Vita that came out with the launch, to my knowledge, that forces you to use the touchscreen for the menu. I don't like that. I really don't like this. And obviously I know it may be a change that it may do or may not. I don't fucking care. I just don't like that. Okay? I want a controller and great games to play on, which when they announced the games they did, that actually was pretty cool. Now, I've never played Killzone, which I wish I could, but Killzone 4 got announced. A bunch of other games got announced. I think they showed off Destiny there, but I didn't see that in time. I stopped when they started showing off games because I was like, I don't give a shit about social games. I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. I'm very indifferent about certain factors and everything. What else did they got? Let's see here. Some random factors. The Witcher 3 will be on the PS3. Diablo 3 has been announced for the PS3. Killzone Shadowfall was announced. Apparently there's no emulation or cloud support yet that they haven't announced. It will not require an always-on internet connection, because that was one of the biggest announcements or rumors for the Xbox. So it's not gonna force you to have an internet connection even though it's free. The new PS4 iToy or whatever it's gonna call. This kind of creeps me out a little bit, but it's gonna include two cameras, one to watch you, and the other one to like put you on the screen or something like. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's kind of creepy how the article reads it. DualShock 3 controllers will not work on the PS4. Pretty understandable. To my knowledge, almost every console never uses the next controller. So that's fine with me. But I really hope they released a original controller again or something. I don't care about any of that. Let's see what else is there. Oh, the whole social gaming shit I was talking about. They're gonna allow you to have access to that stuff using apps and ISO and Android tablet devices. And well, that's pretty much all they have announced so far. So pretty much a lot of it to me is great as a gaming console. A lot of the stuff they showed off, especially with Killzone Shadowfalls, which I don't really care about, and so on, is very interesting. The graphics setup is a lot more better than I guess you can say, although I don't care about graphics too much. So far the console looks really nice, but one of the biggest funniest thing is they didn't actually show the console, which everyone's like, show the fucking console! I remember hearing that. I think that it's still in prototypes before they actually release this, because they probably wanted to make it look really, really cool for people, I guess, at the same time, not abundance. They didn't announce the price, which a lot of people are saying it's going to be rumored about $600 or $500, which, to give or take, I would say I can give this a bit of fairness for Sony that this one will actually be worth it, because the PS3 for $600 was actually not fucking worth it at the time. Because if you think about it, Xbox was about $300, $400, while the PS3 was about $600. And it's like, what are you going to go for, you know? And the launch titles for both consoles were actually not that great, in my opinion. So, and I said both, mind you. I said both Xbox and PS3 did not have good launch titles to begin with. So it very varies on opinions. Obviously, the Sony people, people who have had Sony for years, which I know some people who are, will gobble it right up without question. I still am going to get a PS3, and I'm still going to be playing on a PS3 to finish all those games and collect that, because I like to collect games and I like to have media. It makes me very happy that they're still keeping the disc systems, from what I've heard. Again, I want companies to always give options for everyone. I understand that making a disc is a lot of production work, but it's better than anything. There are people who still like to collect their boxes and collect their games. I especially do. I still collect my games in boxes. Obviously, it's kind of a clutter in my room a little bit, but I still collect my games in boxes. So I'm very happy that they keep it like that. But they're also making it where you can buy the games for digital, I think, for less price. Again, they haven't announced how it's going to work, but it seems like games that you buy on shelves will be $60, but games you'll buy digitally will be $40. That's what I'm speculating, but I can't say that is for sure. If that is true, that is a lot more better than anything I've ever seen. Okay, I wish games would be about $40 or $50 new game box wise, and then it's like $30 for digital or something. But if this actually works out correctly, I think that's going to be pretty good. Interface looks very nice. They changed the way they did their system. They're not doing the whole downloading and installing bullshit anymore. They're reiterating that. So I'm very happy that they're doing that again, because I just did not like how PS3 did it that way. I find it so fucking stupid. But so far, I'm actually pretty impressed for what they're doing with it. I don't care about the social gaming. I just don't fucking care about that. Interface, I hope it's kind of manageable. Not saying I can install my own stuff, but I hope I'm able to at least customize it for my own preference in a sense. Controller, I want a normal controller. I don't want the fucking touchpad. Thank you very much. And other than that, I think they're doing a good job for Sony. Am I excited for what Microsoft is going to announce? I don't know. I don't really care. The Wii U was pretty much the one thing I cared about the most. Like I said, I know I play Microsoft games, so I must be a Microsoft fanboy. I just don't care. Okay, games are meant to play games, and that's what I look at. Okay, every single company has their pros and cons to what they do. Okay, I understand for people who may not like Microsoft because you have to pay to play online. I'm personally fine with that because I don't consider it play to play online. I consider it as paying for a lot of other options than just that. Okay? That's just me. Now, everyone has their own opinion. I'm not saying that Xbox is the best. I never am going to say that. I just have my own opinions between pros and cons between the PS3 and the Xbox 360. That's it. So, I think that's done. Sorry for my entire rambling. I'm sorry that I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon by doing this video of the PS4. Yeah. I just had to do it because I had to voice my opinions on a lot of the things. We'll see what's going to happen in the future time when the holiday comes around to see what they got. But, yeah, at least we know that the PS4 was announced. And it seems like we are going to get better looking games that are going to be almost equally or on par with PC games. Maybe, we'll see. The only downside I see is just, it's not backwards compatible. I don't think you can transfer any downloadable games to the new one. I don't know if you can or can't. Like, the Wipeout HD that I really want. But so far, Sony seems to be doing some good ideas and some good things. They're still going to keep the cross-platform play with the PSP Vita and the PS4, but they're going to integrate it with a little bit more better options and everything. Oh, one last thing. They also introduced a system where people who are watching your live stream or whatever, you can let them take over your game. I don't know. I just saw that feature and going, what the fuck? But I'll stop at that. Maybe you guys will see it. I'll end it here. It's going on way too long. We'll see more information how it goes out. I'm kind of excited, kind of not. I still missed out on the PS3, but we'll see what happens and everything. Oh, Shadowfall is also going to be a launch title for the PS4. I'll end it like that. So everyone have a great day. Thank you so much if you listen to all of this, and we'll see what happens in the future with Microsoft. I'm actually not that excited for that. Leave it at that. Take care, everyone.